Hey everyone, Ben here and welcome back to the channel. Today we're back in Automobilista 2, hot on the heels of the latest version 1.3 update. Now as part of this update, the sim provides the beginnings of a ranked online mode with player progress tracked in-game. Razer's very clear that this is still in beta and for now draws extensively on the system in Project Cars 2. Given I'm primarily an online sim racer, I thought I'd explore what the game has to offer today. I'll take you through my experience of setting up a session, finding one, and completing our first online race in classic DTM cars at Brands Hatch. Before that though, if you enjoy the video, if you find it helpful in any way, please do leave a like. And if you're curious to know more about the footage that is currently running in the background, well that's a sneak peek into our next AMS2 video. The best way to make sure you don't miss it is to get subscribed to the channel. Before we get stuck into our first race, what does this new ranked system actually look like? Well, the interface is quite nice. You find it in the main menu of the game, click on your name in the top right hand corner, and up will pop your statistics, including the number of races you've entered in all game modes, where you've qualified, and where you've finished. And you'll also see early evidence of how your online rating will be tracked. Razer are due to provide more details of this soon, but my understanding is it will work very much in the same way as Raceroom or other ranked systems, with rating increases or decreases dependent on the quality of field and finishing position of your races. Moving on to how you actually find an online session, hit the big multiplayer tab in the home screen and you'll be taken to this screen with a list of currently live servers ordered by the number of players participating. Annoyingly, there isn't a search function that I could find, so if you're looking for a specific lobby, it may take a bit of scrolling. But one of the best features of AMS2 Online is the ability to create your own multiplayer sessions at the click of a button or two. You'll be taken straight to a menu where you can set the parameters of the session you're setting up. That includes your host settings, the car and track combo you're looking to run, all of your race parameters, as well as things like realism, assists, and even if you want to top the grid up with AI cars as well. And then, with a click of a few buttons, you're done. Easy as that. You can launch it, invite friends from Steam, or connect to your racing community. This is something which should make hosting leagues very simple and without any real need for third-party support. It's a great feature and one which, as far as I'm aware, sets AMS2 apart from the competition. So if that's how the system looks and how it currently works, what is it actually like to race in? Well, we hopped in to a random server, Motor Sim Italy, in order to see what the competition was like out on track. There's the session details: a 10-minute practice, short quali, and then a 5-lap race in the DTM Classic cars at Brands Hatch. We put it third on the grid. There's a very large field of cars here, and I'm suspecting an equally large spread of ability. But without further ado, we are already underway off the grid here. We're not expecting any weather changes during the race. We've got a decent enough start. I think there's a car on my outside and we do make a little bit of contact. I think I might have ran wide into the car trying to get around our outside there, but thankfully we came out of that okay. I hope I didn't inadvertently punt somebody off just seconds into my first AMS2 race, but we'll try and take a look back at that when we get a moment's chance to do so. We're through into Graham Hill Bend for the first time then, and it looks as if we're able to hold station with the two cars up ahead. I'm expecting the guy on pole position to scamper off into the distance. He was quite a bit faster than everybody else in qualifying, but actually behind him the pace was reasonably well matched. So Spurler up ahead, ourselves, and then Dog behind us were pretty well matched, and so we'll see if we can't fight for a podium position come the race end. So, initial impressions then, well, I've got to say it's pretty user friendly. Everything just seems to work. Things are running at a pretty stable frame rate here. The server feels like it's fairly stable. You can see a little bit of stuttering or slowdown from time to time, but nothing significant. And what you will see as we get into the course of this race is that the netcode is really, really good. That might have something to do with the number of players accessing servers or where they're accessing them from, but generally speaking the performance is very, very strong, and you're definitely going to get a sense of that here as we're under pressure already from the guy in fourth place. It looks as if he's pulling alongside us here into the first corner of the second lap. He's down our inside. and unfortunately there's not a lot we could do because we had such a compromised exit from the end of lap 1. We really were a bit of a sitting duck there as we come through into the hairpin for the second time, and my aim now is just to try and stick close behind him as we see other cars funneling down the hill to start their second lap. We get a very good run through the left-hander there, and actually we've got a stronger exit and we're going to have a chance to get this position straight back now as we come into the braking zone. We're off the clean racing line into the dirty bit of the track. You'll see then that we nearly lose the back end on the exit of the turn, but we just about hold it and we get a decent exit onto the back straight. So no sooner had we lost third position, but we've managed to gain it back. Good, clean, fair racing, I have to say, for an open lobby. Really impressed with that. Unfortunately, that fighting has meant the cars in first and second have managed to get away from us a little bit. The gap now 2.5 seconds up to Spurler, up ahead. You can see there are retirements going on further down the track as people are leaving the session, so clearly there was a little bit of carnage behind us into that opening lap. We were able to steer clear from all of that and managed to get into a decent position ahead of the mid-pack, where I suspect quite a lot of that action is likely to be unfolding. We have not, though, been able to break away from the driver in fourth position, and once again he's stronger than we are through the final bit of the lap. And so again, I'm going to have to probably take a defensive line into the opening section of the next lap. As a result, he's not as close as he was. He is quicker though than us into T1. We've got a car stranded off to the left hand side. That momentarily distracts us. He gets a cleaner run down the hill and then down our inside into the hairpin. It's very, very close, but he manages to squeeze past. No contact. Really, really impressed again at the clean driving there, and a good overtake from Dog up into third place. Unfortunately, we're not able to squeeze back alongside him as quickly as we were on the previous lap, and it looks like he might have the position done, and to be honest, I'm getting a sense that he's just got stronger pace than we do generally here. Our challenge is going to be, can we stick close to him down this back straight and hopefully put a little bit of pressure on ourselves through the middle part of the lap and then into the final sector. We get a decent run through the fast right-hander. You can see we are maintaining the gap to him up ahead. Try and scrub off as little pace as you can get away with through the right-handers here, coming through this swooping fast section of the lap. I love Brands Hatch, and it's a really good version of the track here on AMS2. We get a decent run as well through that part of the lap to into the left-hander. We're struggling a little bit through this corner. This is where we're losing quite a bit of time with the car ahead, and once again he's extended the gap faster than we are through that section of the track, and that is going to mean we're really going to struggle to put too much pressure unless he makes a mistake through the final corner. A little bit untidy up ahead, but actually we're not going to be close enough in order to mount a challenge into the first part of the next lap. So let's take this opportunity then to have a look at some of the replay footage from lap 1. Here's the race start. You can see some cars struggling under traction off the line. We're going to make a little bit of contact with a car around our outside. I think it was a 50-50 racing incident, although to be honest we were going to struggle to get the car safely through that corner. We were going to end up using all of the track. I don't think we barged him off the track though. I think it was just the coming together. Hopefully no harm done as he was able to rejoin. This then is the end of the first lap as we're coming under pressure from the car in fourth. Just way better speed than we had through the final section of the previous lap, and we weren't able to fight him into T1. We lost the position there as we come down the hill towards the hairpin for the first time, but we were able to mount a bit of a counter-attack as we come through the hairpin. We stuck close enough to him so that when he made a slight mistake through the left-hander at the bottom of the hill, we were able to get a much better run through the corner, carry more speed on the exit, and then blast past him into the left-hander before the back straight. We held it nice and tight, running just about side by side through this corner. The back end nearly gets away from us as we get on the gas down the back straight, and we were able to make our way back into third position. But that wouldn't last. On the very next lap, here he comes back past us on the inside into the hairpin. Good clean racing, and through he goes. I've got to say, as my first laps really using the new physics of version 1.3, I think it's another good solid step for AMS2. We're in then back to the live action into the last lap of the race. I really enjoyed my time spent on the new update. It's not revelatory, I don't think, it transforms this game and the handling characteristics of AMS2, but it is just another good step in making it a bit more predictable, feels a little bit more stable, a little bit more realistic, although I'm sort of nervous of using that word really because I've got really no experience whatsoever of driving a classic DTM car in real life, but it feels more authentic, and that's got to be a good thing. And if the changes are as significant as Razor says they are in terms of the diff and unlocking some of the kind of fundamental issues that perhaps the Madness engine has had in the past, then hopefully we'll see continued improvements as they dial in individual cars. We're on the final lap then of this race. We've held station in 4th. As predicted, the car in 1st position has scampered away. You can see a great battle going on up ahead as ultimately Dog has made his way up into 2nd place. But as we come through to the end of this lap, look at what's happened up ahead. It seems the leader has had some sort of incident, Joe, and now it's a really tight battle for the lead of this race. With only a couple of corners left, he must have had some excursion off into the dirt. That's going to make it a really close finish here towards the end of this race. We're not really close enough to put pressure on and try and snatch a podium, and in the end it looks as if Joe is going to hang on for the win as we come home in 4th place, and a really good fun opening race to our online career on AMS2.
That's it, we're done.
Is it a competitor for the ranked systems of Race Room or iRacing? No, it isn't, not yet. There's a long way to go as we look at footage of Joe getting it slightly wrong into that corner. He does very well to hold it and not get into a bigger accident. So a long way to go for this system just yet, but it's good to see some of the building blocks in place. We're going to need to see more structure come into the ranked system, a greater sense of what is required in order to build rating and safety rating, and then perhaps actually the structure in place to run dedicated ranked races. But for now, I've got to say my experience was pretty good of the online servers, and a really enjoyable experience there in the DTMs. So there you go, there's our first sense of online racing on AMS2 post the 1.3 update. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, leave a like, get subscribed, and if you want to see the next video we've got coming out on AMS2, which features these Formula V12s, do get subscribed, and I'll see you on the next one.